Hey everybody. Long time no see. It's been 70 years. No, it's been 6 years. Um Last time I made a video or stream on this channel, I was in a just horrible mental state. Um yeah, this video honestly is coming out from a place of maturity and realization that for anybody who's still keeping an eye on this channel, I owe you this video. This video I owe you. Um, and that I still have a lot of emotions attached to this channel. You know, it was the channel was my baby. I put a lot of effort, time, love into the channel, and due to what happened, it slowly died. And it still hurts to this day, thinking about that. Um, but this video isn't meant to be sentimental. So, what have I been doing and where have I been? Well, let's start from after my last stream. I can't really remember too well back then because um, at a certain point I went empty inside, and you can see that on a lot of my later streams. I was just very unvocal, very sort of dead fish, and yeah. um, to put a perspective of what it was like at that time, um, I had a habit of leaning back in my chair, uh, kicking back, tilting, the stuff that they tell you not to do because it's dangerous. And obviously, occasionally I would slip and fall flat on my back. And well, usually when you're doing this, if you're watching like a TV show or something you're really into, you'll scramble to get up, reverse the TV show to where you kind of got cut off and continue watching. At that time, whenever that would happen, I think it only happened once or twice, I had no urge to get up. I laid there on my back in my chair, staring at the ceiling for a good solid 5, 10 minutes, not really caring. No life, no urgency. Could hear the TV show going on in the background. I was dead inside. Eventually, I took up a job that my brother offered me, and I worked there for a while. And during my time there, getting my mind off of it and listening to an artist who sort of saved me, you know, in that disparity I was in, I I came out of that and I went back to how I was before all of it to as much as I could. Um, I have internal scars on all of that, so that's none of that's going away. A lot of it's healed though. Anyway, I eventually had to quit that job. Um, for the time, I thought it was purely depression, and I spent since that job working on myself and learning about myself and improving myself. Um, Last couple of years, I found out I had autism. That was a big shocker and eye opener. I struggled with, all of the symptoms and things like that and figuring things out. And I've improved quite a bit. I'm I'm a way different person than I was in the past. I'm kind of keeping it, somber because, you know, interacting with this channel even now hurts my heart. Um, because to me, you know, this is hard trying to do this video without crying, talking on some of this. Uh, to me, the worst part about what happened back then wasn't the betrayals, wasn't the backstabbing, it wasn't the just nastiness of the drama, the getting banned from communities, all of that. It was losing losing the support of friends, of co-streamers, co-content creators, and people I respected, people I looked up to, and people who I wanted to try to become more of a friend of, you know? Hey, Nags, if you somehow are watching this for some god awful reason, um, feel free to reach out, man. Not for content creation's sake, but because I thought you were a really cool guy and I really would enjoy being your friend. And yeah, so let's kind of continue on. There was a small update to the drama if you're privy to the drama back then. Sorry if I'm a little froggy right now. I'm just getting over a cold. Um, so I recently, last month or two, contacted the main person involved in the drama, Chat6, mainly for myself. Actually, all completely for myself. I wanted to put it behind me, and so I got a hold of somebody who is still a mutual friend of both of us. Um, got them to convince Chat6 to talk to me, and I apologized for my half of the drama. I'm not expecting to be forgiven, not expecting anything. I just wanted to apologize for my half because as I matured and I got older, I realized that regardless of who was right and who was wrong, who did more damage and all of that, in order for me to move on and for me to be able to let Chat6 move on if they're still having troubles with it, I needed to apologize, regardless of whether it was accepted and whether they did or not. So I did. I won't go into details. The conversation didn't turn out very well, obviously. But I apologized. I said my piece, and then I headed out. And that was a huge weight off my shoulders. For the last couple of years, I've been going to therapy, which has helped quite a bit. Not much has changed in my living situation besides moving around a few times. But yeah, as for content creation, right now it's on hold. I'm not going to possibly share any current developments with that. If you're interested, feel free to message me on my old Discord account. I still have it. I still have access to it. I think it's Little Can VR. You can just add me or DM me there. Or if you want to, or if you can, I don't know if you can. You can try the business email for this account. I'll try to look that up and pay attention to that, or try DMing me. And if I feel like you're trustworthy, I'll share the account. I don't want to share it publicly because I still have a lot of hang-ups on a lot of the people who know this account who might still have a vendetta or might still want to cause drama now. I've put that behind me. I'm a completely different person now, and I just want to move on with my life. But so back to what I was saying, for content creation, I do want to still do it. I'm going to be taking a completely different approach than in the past for streaming, though I might just do video uploads because I feel like I'm better suited for that. if I actually put the effort into it. But I've been having a hard time with that because of IRL issues and just lack of enthusiasm for it. After that whole fiasco, I lost my passion for content creation. It's kind of sad to say that, but it's true. I lost my passion for content creation. And it's not that I don't want to, it's just that, like, looking at the videos that started on this channel, the effort I put into it, the slideshow intro, I started crying. And I was like, geez, man, look at that. Look at that. You can see the love and passion I put into the videos. And I look at that and I compare it to my more modern videos, and there was none of that passion in it. Sure, there was a little bit of it, but it was like a candle to a bonfire sort of passion. And it was just like, wow. You know? Give me a second. I need to take off this. It's getting a little too warm in here. So I'll talk about a bit more about myself. I'm gonna try to make this a 30-minute video if I can. I want to give you guys a good long video. So what's changed with me besides my personality? Well, I've went around, jumped from friend group to friend group, went through some bullshit here and there, avoided a lot of bullets, lost friends, gained friends, and learned a lot about myself. I'm currently 28, turning 29. I feel fucking old. My body is falling apart, or at least it feels like it. I found out and got diagnosed with some shoulder issues. Essentially, my essentially what with my shoulders, what's going on is your shoulder is a ball and socket joint. And what that essentially means is, if you don't know what a ball and socket joint is your shoulder, your arm part of your shoulder, so this part of it, on the end of it is a round ball, and your shoulder blade, so this part of it, has a hole for that ball to go into. In the average person's shoulder, this is a very snug fit. On my shoulder, either the socket, we don't know exactly because they haven't actually examined it that deep, but either the socket is too big or the ball is too small, and so it jangles around in there. And so if I do this, for example, and then do this, my shoulder, you can't hear it on the mic, but my shoulder goes and hurts. And things like my fingers start going numb and things like that because it's pinching nerves and shit. I found that out last couple of years. That wasn't fun to find out, because that also puts me at a higher chance for dislocating. Dislocating the shoulders, going. So that's fun to find out. And the last last year or two, my knees decided to just randomly develop a condition that the doctors have no clue what's going on. The best they can diagnose me with is chronic pain, which is fun. So the last year has been the most painful year of my life physically. I was in so much pain. At one point, I hyperventilated, and by the time somebody could get to me, because I wasn't near any bags, and by the time my brain could process I needed a bag, I already started suffering from carbon dioxide poisoning, which, if you don't know what that is, that essentially makes your muscles lock up. Luckily, I was able to barely text somebody to come help. Uh, so I was able to get to the hospital. By the time I saw a doctor, though, uh, I had I had calmed down enough to control my breathing, and I was pretty much out of the carbon dioxide poisoning. Um, but that was a fun experience. The pain, on the other hand, completely changed my pain threshold. If you're a man, it's easy to explain how painful it is. Uh, Essentially, think about taking your testicles and replacing your knee joints with your testicles and then walking around on them. That's what it felt like, except worse. So yeah, that is a fun experience. Um, and I say is because my knees are still fucked up. They're a lot less painful now because I've been staying off them and letting the pain deaccumulate. But my left knee is completely permanently fucked. So that's staying there for forever until they figure out what's wrong and can patch it up. So that's fun. 28, turning 29, my body's falling apart like it's 60. Absolutely fan fucking tastic, I'm telling you. Went through a lot of stress. You can kind of see I have a really short hair now. I'm actually normally shaving it bald. I just been going through a depression spurt, so I kind of let it grow out as to why I have all of this. So yeah, that's fun. By the way, if you see me looking up, I'm looking at the screen at myself because I'm fucking narcissistic like that. Not really, but I'm there, and it's a person moving around. I've tried auditioning to be a VTuber several times. Gotten denied each and every fucking time. Come on. Luckily, though, I avoided the Niji Sanji. Whew, that would not have been fun. Mm, that was a bullet dodged. Because I did apply to them a few times. I dodged several VTuber bullets with smaller agencies that were horrible black companies. So, yeah, that was that. Um, what else can I talk about? Put a lot more hours into video games. A lot more. Haven't really worked since that job with my brother. Been working on myself and trying to get disability because once I started realizing I had issues, I started realizing that I'm incapable of working. And then when I found out autism and started learning my symptoms, I was like, yeah, no, I definitely can't hold a job. You know, these issues are issues I've worked on for try to work on for years, and I can't get rid of them. And they're related to autism. You know, and there's other issues obviously that I found out via tests and other things like that. So that's fun. Except my fucking disability is going absolutely fucking nowhere because the goddamn judge who's residing over my goddamn case, sorry if I'm getting upset and cussing, but you'll understand why in a moment, doesn't believe mental health disabilities are a thing. They don't believe mental health is a thing. So they keep denying my case, even though the administrative council, the people above this judge, are saying, what the fuck are you doing? Redo it. You know? An example of what I mean by that is my first hearing with this judge, they denied my case. I appealed it. And when my current lawyer started looking through the case, we had our, discussion. He apologized for laughing, um, because while he was reading through my case, he found my case so ridiculous that he couldn't help himself. Like how ridiculous it was. And what I mean by that, and he gave me an example, is normally when your case goes to a judge, you go through a hearing, you get denied. Only about 3% of cases get that appeal get a second hearing. So 3%. And usually they only get they only have one or two reasons why the appeal got approved. Mine had over 10 reasons. This judge fucked up so badly, they had over 10 reasons of why this judge fucked up. And the second court hearing came around, and they denied it. The same judge got put to my case, which mind boggled me, and they denied it this time as well. And my lawyer said, went to appeal it because my lawyer, my therapist, everybody who knows my case, who actually, believes my situation and doesn't have that snarky, oh, you're just pretending bullshit that, like, I think one government psychiatrist had and some other person, say that I'm disabled. I cannot hold a job. Like, everything about me says I cannot hold a job. Well, sorry, correction. I can't hold most jobs. The jobs that I can hold, I cannot acquire or are so hard to acquire that it's unrealistic to try to get me into that field. An example being an award-winning actor sort of deal. That's hard to acquire. Because I need very, very specific conditions and a large amount of leniency that no company will hire. Like an example being, I need to have an ability to have 1 week of paid vacation, paid time off, if my mental health randomly decides to go kaput and I'm unable to work for a week. Most companies will not hire you for that. They just absolutely will refuse to do that. And that's understandable and realistic of them. But it is the case. And now with my physical conditions, it makes getting physical labor jobs practically impossible. There's certain jobs that are sort of physical labor that I'd be willing to try to tough through the pain for, but I doubt I'll get those, so that's that. Because again, those are the hard to get jobs, fucking bullshit, you know. So yeah, that's that. I have a lot of plans that have been on hold, which really fucking suck because I'm not in an environment where my mental health is stable enough to actively partake in things like learning and training and practicing the way I want to. But I'm making plans and efforts to try to get there, so that's that. So that's fun. I like how this kind of turned into a sort of like not a therapy session, but just sort of me bitching and complaining about my life. Like, woe is me. Look at how horrible my life is, guys. Will you show me sympathy? I'm sorry. I don't know. I started this because I felt like I owed you all a video. For anybody who's still keeping an eye on my channel, whether you be friend or foe, I owe you a video. I left off on at a really bad time. I've been gone for 6 years, and a video I made before I kind of came out of that just dead state got abandoned. It's still private and unlisted. So that was absolutely great. Not great, but sad because I actually had friends help me out with that one, and I kind of feel like I let them down with that. If you're wondering, no, I don't play VR chat really anymore. I slowly faded out from playing it and just haven't been able to go back. At first it was just too painful to go back. A lot of memories with a lot of different friends that, abandoned or betrayed me. And all that. But eventually it just got to a point where it wasn't the VR chat I knew. it's such a different landscape now, and it's just no longer VR chat, you know? Like it's VR chat, but it's not VR chat, if that makes sense. It's not the VR chat I know. It's not the VR chat that I fell in love with, that I had fun with, that I absolutely adored. It's so just e-sex and e-dating and just adult content everywhere. And I know that's not everything, but it's like everywhere. And then on top of that, from what I heard from the few times I logged in, because I do log in every now and then to kind of say hello to some friends and be like, hey, I'm still alive. The number the number of times people are like, oh my god, you're not dead. uh, or he's alive. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely funny, but yeah. Um, but that's that. Each time though, I tend to go around in my Joey Bagel model and show that off. Absolutely, like nobody nowadays recognizes it, and those who do, it is such a nice feeling when I meet somebody who recognizes it, because they're like, "Oh my god, oh my god, it's the model." It's people who recognize Joey Bagel usually recognize the model because they saw it on a stream or saw it in the contest video or some shit. Or and at the very least, if they recognize Joey Bagel or Nags, they're like, "Oh my god, that's Joey Bagel! I've never seen this model. This model is cool." you know, I think I still have the assets. Maybe I can't remember if I do. I think I do. I think I got them back. Like I downloaded them because I know I updated the model. I know that. Because I wanted to keep the model going, and I knew I needed to update it to keep it up to make sure it fully functioned right. And I still have it, or at least last time I logged in, I still had it and it still functioned all right. Um. Oh yeah, I did get VR, actually proper VR. I got an Oculus CV1, so that was nice and fun. I still have it, and I used I was making streams with it for a while. But it's one of those things that, like, in the current space I live in right now, I don't really have the space for a lot of stuff. And then on top of that, with my physical body the way it is, I can't do a lot of things anymore without a lot of pain, like Beat Saber. I loved Beat Saber, man. But I can but can't play it anymore. You know, like I could play it for maybe at most an hour before I have to finally call it quits, unless I really take care of avoiding my left knee, which, if you know Beat Saber, is hard to do. Um, but yeah, lately I've been kind of getting back into Minecraft more, playing Minecraft and all that. I've played a lot of different games though as the years went by. Satisfact. I'm just looking at a few games over on my other screen. Satisfactory, Elden Ring, Hogwarts Legacy. Don't bite my head off if you're part of that. You're part of the people who just hate it. Um, I understand your opinion of it, and I accept your opinion, but understand that I enjoy it, and anything you say isn't going to change my mind. Monster Hunter World. Actually, no, I think I streamed that back in the day, but I replayed it recently with the Iceborne DLC, and that was really fun. Core Keeper, that's there. What else? I think I played a lot more Ark Survival Evolved. I got, I mean, I have most hours in it nowadays. Got some old classic games that I really enjoyed, like Dungeon Keeper. I actually got a legit copy of that on Steam, which was nice. Found a remake of an old game that I used to love called Pharaoh. It's a Egypt like Civ Civilization game. Not really. No, no, not Civilization. Sim City game. It's like an Egyptian themed Sim City game. Really fun and stuff like that. Played World of Warcraft a bit more. I got started getting into the end game content because I never really tried it, but I kind of got bored of it because it got really just repeaty and just yuck. Um, that's really it. Just other than that, I've spent most of my time watching anime and just working on my mental health, coming to terms with shit, and building my personality. uh, so yeah. Well, I'm gonna call it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is gonna be unedited. Um, and if you're still around and you possibly want to see more content, feel free to at least comment. Um, if I earnestly get enough people from the past saying, "Hey, you know, I want to see more content of you. I want to see you come back to life in this channel," I would be willing to give it a shot, you know? I will say, though, a lot of the old depressing videos and content will probably go unlisted. I don't know. I'll need to debate that and decide because all of that, but that would be the case. Um, and I'd also have to decide the direction I want to go. I've been thinking lately about becoming a just chatting streamer, where I like kind of watch stuff and do proper reactions, not that lame ass like where I'm like pausing and actually talking about the video for more than the actual video length sort of deal. Um, I don't know if that would be fun at all or not, or if I'd be good at that. I would have to try that out. But yeah, um, anyway, good catching up. Hope you guys enjoy. See you later. Bye bye.